Going for a 4-4-2.
He didn't know what was going on in the room.
Elias managed to refrain from swearing.
He said, if you've got a problem with me, let's sort it out in the gym.
He's actually defending Raul. The thing is...
Oh, come on! Where has that come from?
Yeah.
They brought through the door. You know, you look at the...
What a performance. What, you know, the guys...
Goal that we ruled off. Quite a stupid thing, but...
Live from Style Space at the Supporters Club. Right.
But he was getting a bit tired, I thought.
Come on! Here we go! Come on! Come on!
Yeah! Go! Welcome back to Irons United, West Ham Irons United. You've just witnessed West Ham beat Leeds 2-0 at the London Stadium to propel West Ham back up that league into 5th position. Let's just take a little cheeky look at that table, lads. I'm Anton. Obviously, you've just been watching us on the Matchday Live. I'm joined by Stel and Matt. 2 points behind Chelsea. Stel, your club mate, how you feeling?
2 points behind Chelsea, 1 game in hand. 4th place is ours, mate. 4th place is ours.
He's confident. 5 points ahead of the champions. Matt, how are you feeling after that?
Who cares about the champions?
That's what I said. It's weird, isn't it?
You know,
you know what? Moyes has found a way to win again. You know, they always say sign of a good team is that you win even when you're not playing well and you're playing ugly. And Moyes has done it again. He's found a way to win again. So, wasn't the best game to watch. I think a neutral would argue we were probably lucky to come away with the points. But we'll take them. We'll take the points. Another 3 points.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, let's get into the game. Listen, we've kind of bored people on the highlights and words. The Matchday Live video. So now we're on to the highlights and words. And let's keep this to a review. We'll come through the comments as we go along as well. Still, we were looking at the team lineup. We weren't too sure what was going to happen, but what we saw was Fabianski was included back into the side, as was Benrahma. What was your thoughts about Moyes also switching the formation to a back four?
I think it's Matt called it in the preview that he thought we'd go to a back four again, and I think it was the right move to make. You know, you can't keep playing a back five against every team. You know, you just know he's going to go to a back five against Man United next weekend. So it was the right thing to do. It gave us a little bit more in our counter attack, because that's what Moyes was looking for in this game. He was looking to play a counter attacking game. And it was the right thing to do. Nothing wrong with Johnson dropping out. It's not as if he played back. He didn't have the greatest of games last week, but you know, I don't think that was the reason why he was left out of the team today. It was more a tactical change than anything else. And then Benrahma coming in. Yeah, I was pleased that Benrahma came in, actually. You know, we was talking earlier. Jake did a show at lunchtime today asking about Benrahma, you know, and does Moyes fancy him, etc. And I think Moyes does fancy Benrahma as a player. He just plays him in the games that he thinks he's going to be the most effective in. And I think Benrahma had quite a good game as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when we seen the lineup, Matt, we genuinely were having a look at the, you know, what Stel's been saying is we've got kind of a Moyes that can manage a squad and turn up against a specific team and actually, you know, put out the relevant players for that. So he's brought Benrahma in, a ball-carrying player, alongside the likes of Lingard. But, you know, we know that Leeds can play football. We know that they want to hold possession of the game. They've held a lot of possession in this game. But what's your brief thoughts on the start of the game? Because there's no ifs and buts about it. West Ham started the game shaky. This is me just going into the first half.
Well, I mean, Moyes set up knowing they'd have the possession. So I think that's the way he put the team he did. But it was a strange start. I mean, it was very much... It was back like watching a Pellegrini or a Bilic team. Like it took us 15 minutes to get going. And we had it not been for a linesman, been 2-0 down by that point. You know, it was Leeds started like a house on fire. They were at it from the get-go. We were like still in the dressing room for about 20 minutes. We were still waiting. They had the two goals disallowed. It was slow. It took us a while to get in the game, and we were just rode our luck in the first 20 minutes to still be in the game, and then we slowly started building.
Yep, sorry, I am here. Sorry, just lost you there for a second. Yeah, absolutely. And still, do you think we rode our luck in the first 10 minutes? I mean, they did put the ball in the back of the net twice. I mean, were we lucky? Should both of the goals have been disallowed? Were they right decisions?
Certainly the second one, because that definitely did go out of play without a shadow of a doubt. Matt reckons that we were lucky with the first one. I need to see it from a different angle. I can't tell. But, as I said to Matt, at the tail end of the last show, we've had our fair share of really bad luck, calls going against us. This season, we're having our fair share of really good luck. We're getting an awful lot of calls going for us. And it's really ironic that when the team are sitting near the top of the league, shouts go for them. If we'd have been sitting at the bottom of the league, near the bottom of the league, we would have been 2-0 down in 20 minutes and both those goals would have stood. That's the way it goes. I don't know why. I can't tell you why, but that's the way it goes. So I don't know about the first one. Matt may be right. We may have been more luckier than we thought. But certainly the second one was definitely the ball definitely went out. But we did ride our luck. Absolutely.
Yeah. We absolutely did, especially in the first half. But listen, we as Moyes does, he just kept fighting on. West Ham team kept fighting on, and we drove forward. And then we saw a nice bit of interlinking play, Matt, between Benrahma and Lingard. It was nice when they actually linked up play and they were driving forward. And I think they must have played the ball between each other 2 or 3 times. Lingard drives forward. Ayling puts his foot out. Penalty to West Ham. If it was me and you were kind of discussing in the first half, he has made a connection and Lingard has gone down. It was the fact that Lingard probably made the most of it.
Soft.
Yeah.
It's soft, is what I would say.
No.
I spoke about this before, and I can't remember what, it might have been the Aston Villa game or something. We might be talking about Jack Grealish. And I said the problem with VAR at the moment and with these sort of penalties is that if Lingard stays on his feet, he doesn't get rewarded. They won't go back and give the penalty. And I've said about this by VAR before. Like, VAR should be there to say, don't dive down, stay on your feet, and we'll go back and see if you were impeded. If Lingard stayed on his feet there, he doesn't get the penalty. There is contact. He stood on his foot. He did go. That's the Man United in him. He did go theatrically down to the floor. It was a soft one, but the contact was there. And you know what? We've literally been the only team in the league that doesn't do it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of not nice to see, but it's nice for once that we are actually doing what the rest of the league do. And you make contact, I'm going to go down and leave it up to the referee. But yeah, even if we received it, I would have said it was soft. It had gone the other way. I'll still say it was soft.
But then still, we saw the battle between Jesse Lingard and Declan Rice against Sheffield United, where Lingard, he won the penalty and he thought, I should take it. And today, Lingard won the battle and he took the penalty, and it was squeaky bum time, really, wasn't it? Still, I mean, he's missed the penalty. Fortunately for West Ham, the keeper has parried the ball out directly into the path of Jesse Lingard, and he's tapped the ball into the back of the net.
Look what Fo's just put up. Declan Rice has just said Moyes has told him he has to take the next pen. That's the last time we'll see anybody apart from Declan Rice taking a penalty for West Ham, unless Mark Noble's on the pitch. Can you do me a favour, Anton? Can you just put this Souček photo up for a second? Yeah, hang on a minute. How apt. I fought the post and the Souček won. No, but as far as the penalty goes, I mean, I can't believe that you're saying it was soft. Forget that. It was a pen, and all fair play to Jesse Lingard for being a professional footballer and going down at the slightest of touches, I say. It's really...
You can't really believe that still.
No, in all honesty, he got tripped. No,
that's what I said. It's soft, but as I said, if he'd have stayed up, he would have got it.
It's not soft. It's not soft because if he got tripped, it's a penalty.
That's what I'd say.
He couldn't have stayed on his feet because he had both feet taken down. It wasn't as if he was still on one foot. He had both feet taken away from him. So soft as it may have looked, it was a soft.
Yeah. Tell you what, let's resolve this. Was it soft? Get the comments in, put it in the comments, and we'll move on from Still and that having a little whatever they're having. Lovers
Yeah.
tip. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but
we
it
move
was
on
a
to the
poor
game.
It doesn't like it when I have a tip with you. He just rather I have a
That's
tip
what
with
I'd
him
say.
instead.
It was a poor
Yeah.
penalty, and he should be taking the next one.
We
He got
move on
lucky
to
with
the next. We move into the game. West Ham have gone 1-0 up, and we kind of hit a little bit of. We started to find the game a little bit. We were driving forward. There's no ifs or buts about it. We were doing it, and then we won a corner, and we can't remotely deny. I mean, what a fantastic ball from Creswell, wasn't it, Matt? And you've got Dawson. Just, I mean, talk to me about the goal, mate.
Oh, I said it at the time, didn't I? Like when he's in the attacking box, he reminds me of like prime Andy Carroll because the way he just aggressively attacks the ball every time. Like they were lucky to get in at half time. He lost his man. He attacked it. The guy couldn't keep up with him. He just flung himself at it, diving header into the back of the net. No one, the aggression and the pace and the movement he had when attacking that ball, no one was going to stop him winning it. It was, and he done it. He whole game. Every time we had an attacking set piece, they could not stop him. The only hope they had was whether he could reach the ball or not, because they weren't stopping him getting there. Just whether they got put the ball on his head.
Here's an interesting stat for you, though. That takes West Ham to the most headed goals in the Premier League season, joint with Everton with 11 this season. So Tottenham's got 10, Man United have got 9.
Oh, so this season. I thought you were saying...
no, in this season,
This season.
Yep. So 11 head goals. But, we've gone 2-0 up still. And at that point, you thought, I remember actually thinking in the game, we don't really want half-time to come because we've just found our groove.
And it wasn't. We did find our groove.
No,
mate,
but
no.
But when I say groove, I was just about to we found a groove. We found a gear. We weren't in fifth gear.
We were 2-0 up, and we probably didn't deserve it. In all honesty, I really genuinely think that. I think
at this point, though, at this point we've got Benrahma starting to build into the game. He's driving forward. He was looking for these passes, didn't have them. He attempted a couple from outside the box. The end of the first half definitely ended better as how we started it.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. But then we came out in the second half and started
we're
the
not
same
talking about
way
the
as we
second
did.
half still.
I would agree that we were marginally better at the end of the first half than we were at the start. How about that? I mean, it was. Let's be honest, lads. They had 2 goals disallowed, one which was definite. Matt is contesting whether the first one should have been disallowed or not. I reckon if that had been allowed, if we'd have gone 2-1 at half time, I think the pressure would have been on. So I think we kind of finished better. I like what Benrahma did in the first half. He was having an attempt. He was trying to do the cutting passes and all that sort of stuff. I think it was quite decent today, but we just didn't seem to be on. The players just didn't seem to be on the same level in the first half for me. It was a bit bitty. It's a bit bitty.
We've gone in at half time, 2-0 up. It's not been the best half. However, we're still 2-0 up in the game. We're sitting here talking at the half time. We kind of fully expected Leeds to make subs. They've made 2 subs. They've brought on Alowinski. How do you pronounce his name? Alioski, and then Harrison, who we was quite surprised not to see starting for Leeds. He's been involved in 10 of their goals this season. And very quickly, Leeds hit it off in the second half, didn't they, Matt? From where they left off in the second half, picked up from the 10-15 minute spell at the first half and done the same in the second half. And really, they never really held back, did they, in the second half?
You said it was a carbon copy start from the first half to the start of the second half. The only thing is they didn't get their disallowed goals. They were, I think it took us 25 minutes to actually get into the second half. They were just constant pressure, but they didn't create much, is what I would say. We were sloppy, we were poor. I said at the time, I don't think Moyes was going to be happy with today's performance. Yes, it would be like we got 3 points, but the ability to retain possession by any of the players seemed really sloppy. We had a few minute spells here and there, but the first 15, 20 minutes second half, it was one-way traffic.
Yeah, it really was.
They just couldn't break us down.
And we really were still, weren't we? We were really riding our luck.
Sorry, I'm getting carried away by the comments.
No, that's fine. But listen, let's talk about Souček. I mean, listen, he's a complete warrior, and we really picked up on that today. The fact that he gets kicked from pillar to post, he really does, doesn't he?
The guy, I mean, I tell you what, I know I said it half jokingly, but I actually meant it. When you compare a player like Souček, and then you look at that dandy, bloody Jack Grealish, who falls over at the touch of a feather. You know, what a contrast. This is a proper footballer. He takes me back to the days when I started watching football as a youngster. You know, when people were kicking lumps out of each other and they just got up and carried on playing. And he is old school. You know, he is a brilliant player. He's a warrior. He gets kicked. He runs into lamp posts. He runs into this, that, and the other. He gets up. He gets his head smashed open, and he just carries on playing football. And that's what we love. That's what West Ham fans love. We love a player that gives it his all. And boy, oh boy, we need to keep him at the end of the season because he, he didn't have the best of games today, but he tries, doesn't he? And he's the sort of player that kind of carried us through this game. I think. Who? We got Darth Vader on the. We got Darth Vader on. It ain't me. Move your microphone a bit further down, Anton.
Is it me?
Yeah. That's better.
Right, carry on.
Yeah, sorry, Souček. I mean, what a warrior. But we're not. I've never seen the guy have a bad game, to be honest with you. And today was another game where he just runs and runs and runs, puts in the tackles, runs into posts, and God knows what else. And he's a brilliant player for us. You know, let's hope we keep him at the end of the season.
I can't breathe now. I don't know how to breathe without actually breathing.
You're like,
without hearing yourself breathe.
Listen, he is. He absolutely is. He's everything that we've been looking for such a long time and more. And he just offers us that va-va-voom really in the cheers, Kieran, in the middle of the park. But anyway, we move on, and for now, I mean, let's talk about. Let's talk about Benrahma. Leeds used all their substitutions by the 60th minute. Moyes made his first substitution. I'm not being negative about it. In the 73rd minute, I believe it was, when Benrahma came off for Bowen. How did you rate Benrahma's performance today, Still?
I enjoyed it. I think, the boy, he's a decent player. He tries to make things happen. It just didn't come off for him today, unlike some of the other games we've seen him play where he had great link up with the likes of Lingard, etc. But you could see what Benrahma's game plan is, the way he tries to play the game. It's always forward thinking. It's always let's run at the players. Anton's breathing him. He tries to run at defences, gives them. He tries to, give problems to the opposition. He's direct. I love the way he tries to thread the ball through. Go back to that comment. Go back to that comment again. Only way West Ham finish top four is if they enter the Eurovision song. Chris, are you a Leeds fan?
Yeah, I think he is.
No. Yeah, I thought so.
So
Benrahma, I think he had a really decent game. You could see whenever he gets subbed, you could just see he looks a bit like, oh, really? You haven't played me for the last 3 or 4 games and now you're subbing me. But I think he did enough to actually keep his place against Man United. Not that he will, but I think he did enough to keep his place against Man U.
Well, Leeds made the full round of substitutions, like I said, in the 60th minute. They brought Rodrigo on. I think their substitutions actually did make a bit of a difference for them, to be honest. And they did have chances, and we were riding our luck all the way, really, to the end of the game. I'm just trying to remember if there was anything else. I mean, Fornals hit the bar with an absolute worldie of a chance, didn't he, Matt?
Yeah, it was like, was it a corner that come back out, and he was 30 yards, maybe more. He just took it on his chest and hit it on a volley. And I'm thinking, oh, what's he done that for? Was it the waste? But come crashing back off the top of the crossbar. Brilliant technique. It would have been goal of the season contender if it had gone in. A couple of inches lower, it would have been off the bottom of the crossbar. We had a possible second penalty not looked at by, apparently it was looked at by VAR for handball. But there was about 3 handballs in the space of about 6
Bloody
seconds.
handball. Should have been another penalty. There you go.
And then talk to me about the save from Fabianski. I think it was at Rafinha, just at the edge of the box, overhead kick, took a deflection off Diop. Fabianski stretching out, tips it over the bar. We did ride our luck, guys. We really did. But at the end of the day, David Moyes has grinded out this result again tonight. What's your thoughts, Still?
David Moyes is getting it right, and there's nothing. I mean, even I'm beginning to shut up and not sort of complain about his team selections or anything like that, because he just.
like it.
I know it ain't. You know, it's quite
Nothing
disappointing.
shuts you up still.
Well, Moyes is shutting me up because he's like keeps proving us wrong, doesn't he? He picked the right team for tonight. He picked the right team. I don't think our performance was good, but he picked the right team. You know, so what more can you say? David Moyes is grinding out results. 4th place beckons. We're going to get there. We're going to get 4th. We may even get 3rd at this rate because he just keeps.
Bold words.
Why
Listen,
not? Why not?
you know-
We've won our first of our 12 cup finals. We've got another 11 to go. Why not?
I like the
You
way I
know-
like the way you look at that. I like it. It's good. I like that. 86 minutes have gone. Leeds have gone in the attack again, and Mr. Craig Dawson has stepped up and hit the ball off of the line, cleared the ball off of the line. But it's not Dawson I want to talk about just now. I want to talk about Diop and the fact that he's had to step in. You know, another defender's had to come in and try and claim a place in the team. Matt, how do you think Diop's performed?
I think again he started slowly, but he grew into the game. I think he plays better with a sitting defender next to him because he does. He is one that likes to commit forward and win balls, and he's doing it quite a lot. And in the second half, as the game went on, he started winning more of them, where he just nipped in front of the defender to win the ball back. I think it's taken him a few games, but I think he's won his place back in the team again. Sel said it just at the end of the match day live. You know, we've got 4 centre backs, and every time someone's had to step up for their chance, they've stepped up. It's you know, Moyes has seemed to have found a balance of 4 centre backs that he's happy with. That he knows if one goes out, he can fill in. If he goes out, he can fill in. So yeah, I mean, yeah, he played well.
Yeah,
you know, he got. I don't know what to say. Yeah, he grew into the game. Started off shaky. Some of his passing wasn't great, but then again, I mean, I know Rich made a comment at half time about, a lot of his balls were being played long, but the way Bielsa's team plays, they want you to pass out from the back so they can win it back. So
yeah,
playing long balls over the top sort of cuts out that press. It's not necessarily a bad thing.
But listen, you know, we've grinded out the result. We've walked away 2-0 victorious. We have victory, and we've moved up to 5th in the place. That's our first league double over Leeds since the 53-54
No,
season.
apparently someone said earlier the 22-23 season, something like that.
I know that's in that was the second. You're talking about the first tier, but that's our first league double over Leeds since the 53-54, which was in the second tier. Leeds now have lost 13 of their last 14 games in London. West Ham have scored 15 goals via set-piece situations in the Premier League this season. That's excluding penalties. No side has faced more penalties in the Premier League than Leeds, so that's 8, which is level with Liverpool. And here's another interesting one for you. West Ham have won 3 consecutive home Premier League matches for the first time since March 2019. That's Lingard up to 4 goals in 6 Premier League appearances. Doesn't matter if he wasn't at the races today. He's still top-notch performer, isn't he? What did you think of him today? Still,
who did you say? Sorry, mate.
Lingard.
He had a bit of a quiet game, didn't he? Really. I think he did all right, but if you look at the performances he's put in over the last few games in comparison, today's game was a little bit, off colour.
Yeah.
But having said that, he was still kind of, half decent. He had a couple of attempts from outside the box and stuff like that. So he's another player that will try and go for it, but not a great game. Not a great game for Lingard. I think for me, our best attacking player today was we talked about already, Benrahma. But you wouldn't chuck Lingard out of the team just because he's had one slightly off-color game, because you know what he's capable of. So it was all right. He won us the penalty legitimately, and he scored the rebound. And what more can you ask for?
Before I move on to your man of the match, just another and the last statistic before we go into the stats of the actual game, and also looking at your man of the match. But Aaron Cresswell has now registered 7 Premier League assists this season, which is joint best since he's actually been at the club. Cresswell's kind of found a bit of form again, hasn't he, Matt?
Well, I think someone made a comment. I don't know if it was in the chat earlier, or it might have been on Twitter. I was looking earlier that we got to give credit to Kevin Nolan, because for the first time in a couple of years now, we've actually got we actually practice set pieces. Like, we know what we're doing at set pieces. Like, the players know what they're supposed to be doing. Like, I've said it before earlier this season that it's probably the first time since we had Big Sam in that we actually look like we know what we're doing at set pieces. Like, I remember going back to Bilic and to Pellegrini, and it was just chuck the ball in the box and see what happens. There's no coincidence. There cannot be a coincidence this year that we've practiced set pieces and all of a sudden we're scoring more than anyone else. And it's not just Creswell putting the ball in. Creswell's always had a good delivery, but he's actually put in positions where he knows players are going to attack the ball. Like, it's predetermined. You put it on the back post and we'll attack the back post, put it in the middle. And if you're putting into areas where players are going to attack the ball, you're going to get more assists. If Creswell's whipping the ball into the back post, under Pellegrini, or actually he wasn't, was he? Because it was Anderson whipping every ball into the near post and we never done anything with it. That was the only plan we had. So the fact that we can, go near post, far post, but Creswell, I don't know if they some hand signal or what, but we've practiced it and Creswell's getting the benefit of it, as is Dawson and Souček and Ogbonna when he's playing. The big guys we've got at the back and in the midfield, obviously West Ham have decided, you know what, we've got the height, we've got the people with the ability to put the ball in. Let's actually go and practice them. So when we get on the pitch, and it's working.
Yeah,
I like this comment. When we went 2-0 up after, what was it, 20 minutes? What was it, 20 odd minutes, something like that?
Yeah.
I thought if we can get our game in order, the floodgates can open up here, and we could make a big dent in the goal difference, because we are the lowest scoring team in the top 8. We've not conceded many, but we are the lowest scoring team. So I thought, okay, here we go. Now we might actually run away with this. Maybe I don't mean to put Leeds down, but on 28 minutes, I thought Leeds' head would drop, and I think they did at the end of the first half. So good for them for coming out with such vigor in the second half. But I thought to myself, this could be, maybe we get another goal or two to start making our goal difference a bit better. But we didn't. We because we weren't on our game today. That unfortunately didn't happen. But that's a good point there from Schizo.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at some of the stats for the game ourselves. We'll get rid of that there. So Leeds had 65% possession in the game, which we kind of fully expected, really, to be honest.
I thought
obviously
more than that.
Well, I think, but I mean, look at it though, mate. I mean, it's still a lot. It's still a lot. Do you know what I mean?
No, just the way the play was in the second half. I thought it would have been like 75% possession or something.
Yeah. Obviously, the West Ham won the game 2-1. Total shots was 16 for West Ham to Leeds' 17.
I'm surprised we had that many shots.
Yeah.
That surprised me, and 5 on target for us.
5 on target.
I'm really surprised by that as well. But there you go.
Both teams had 5 blocked shots as well. We've then got total passes. Leeds again dominating the passing, 522 passes. Passing accuracy was 83% to West Ham 70%. So you can tell with that stat alone that West Ham weren't at the races today with our passing, because we did lose the ball quite a lot. I remember doing the commentary, we were kind of saying, we've been dispossessed, or someone's intercepted the ball, etc. We've hit the bar once. They had 11. Oh, what's happened there?
Mate, is that from the One Football app?
Yeah.
One Football have teamed up with West Ham Mines United.
He's taking the piss of himself. That's what we like to see, Stell. Taking the piss of yourself, but they don't sponsor this video. They don't.
See? I said that, didn't I? I said Moyes said he isn't happy after the game interview and said that we need to get the ball more. That's what I said he'd say. You were like, he won't be happy. I said he won't be happy.
Yeah.
And he wasn't.
Absolutely. Let me just quickly do the last one there. We've done all the stats. But listen, we're up to 5th in the league. Got a game in hand on all the teams above us. 48 points, 2 points below Chelsea, 5 points behind Leicester, 6 points behind Manchester United. The season's still on. The European charge is still on. Still in Matt, innit?
Full on, mate. We are full on. You know, we're going to beat Man United next weekend, which will close the gap.
I don't know if you saw what I put in the chat.
Go on.
We've got Man United on the Sunday. The reason it's a Sunday game, obviously they've chose the evening kickoff, but they've got AC Milan this week in the last 16, and then they go to Milan next week. So they've got this double
so we're
header against
sandwiched in
those-
between those two games.
the Europa League games.
Game on, mate. Game on. We're going to finish third. Josh, my dad and I both saw how we thought Diop played well. I think him and Dawson were a rock today. Tell your dad to get on because we miss him. So give him that message from all of us. Hope you're all well. Carry on,
But listen, lads. That's really our review. Really, with that, we've reviewed the game. I'm just getting really hot under these stairs, but I need to open this door. That's why I'm struggling to talk.
You're sweating.
Yeah, I really am. Can you not see it shining off my head? That's really been our review, though. You know, we've walked away again with 3 points. I mean, how many more times this season? The funny thing is, I was more buzzing from the loss against Man City than I was from the result.
Weird, isn't it?
It's
weird.
Stat. Where is it? Yeah, when nobody
good point,
teams
Dave.
staying places, but it is as I said about Moyes, he wouldn't be happy because the performance wasn't very good. It wasn't. We
Matt, think Moyes will be happy, Matt?
He'd be ecstatic, mate. Ecstatic.
But Dave said hit the right point there.
Yeah.
Winning ugly, sign of a team game places. Absolutely. Anil, Lingard's not available next game. Does Benny keep his place? I think he does, doesn't
That's a
he?
good point. So that probably frees up room for Johnson to come back in.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Well,
Do you know
maybe
what?
he does, yeah.
Do you know what he might do? Do you know what he seriously might do? Because I think by losing Lingard in that kind of pressing position is going to be such a big loss for West Ham. And I think the only potential player that can bridge that gap is Bowen.
Oh, Mark Noble.
Bowen.
I thought you were going to say Noble.
No.
I think Bowen could. I think he's capable
I
of.
could see him bringing Bowen in and then trying to get Fornals to do Lingard's job.
No, see, I think he might. He could mix it up and actually, because Bowen obviously didn't start the game today, so keep the same lineup except for swap Bowen for Lingard. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
I'm just saying,
Yeah,
do you
that'd
remember-
be a good shout.
If you remember
That'd be a
back to
good
the cup game, he changed it back to, I think it was in fourth, wasn't it? But we went to back five in the second half.
Yeah.
And we actually played better.
Yep.
So I'm just wondering if with Lingard not available, does that bring Ben Johnson back in? And he goes back to the back five again.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well-
Jerry says Moyes isn't happy. He gave an interview and said we need to keep the ball a lot more. Yeah, you were right, Matt. You know, I wouldn't have been happy with that performance. Yeah, great that we won. Great that we won. But yeah, performance wasn't great.
Well, listen,
Performance wasn't great.
we've been on for a long time, so let's call it quits there. We've actually done a show under 35 minutes. I'm baffled and I'm shocked. That's been our review. West Ham won 2-0 against Leeds. What have we got coming up? I don't even know what day today is. Monday.
Well, it's Monday now. Have we got a show this week or not? No.
When are we playing? When are we playing Man United?
Sunday. Do join us for the West Ham Weekly Match Day Live on next Sunday.
Well, if we do this right, Sunday. So we'll try and do the preview on. It'll be definitely on Saturday. It'll definitely be on Saturday. We'll have. Is the game a late kickoff on Sunday?
7:15.
7:15. Yeah.
All right. So your weekly is.
Well, you wouldn't have been hearing this because you were setting up this show. Yeah, I've got to phone the FA to find out what the hell they're up to.
Yeah.
For stealing my
Taking his slot, mate. Yeah.
It's just not on.
Join us for the match day live on the Sunday. Stell will probably bring you his.
I'll do it on the Monday.
Mate, he's going live straight after. He's going live at 2 a.m.
No,
straight
bloody
after
well
the
ain't.
game.
No, bloody well ain't.
What we need to do is
we need to do a show between now and Saturday.
We do have a couple of shows, right? And I'm still not going to say it, but there's definitely one launching a week on Tuesday, a week tomorrow.
Yeah.
And Matt is involved. Matt, you do know this. We're going to have a brief chat anyway, but and we'll have a new presenter.
We might do a little, chat show between now and
say that
Saturday.
Still, you say that all the time, and then we never do it.
Yeah, because you don't get your arse in order, mate. But
You
there
don't
you
need
go.
me, though.
Well, fair enough. Then we'll do
There
it
you go.
without you. We'll do it without you. All right,
panicking.
no problem.
He's panicking.
I'm not panicking at all.
Now.
Probably be a better show without you.
Still's panicking now. He's flipped it on him.
But listen.
Not at all.
Subscribe to the channel. There's a lot of you watching, so please jump on, subscribe button, hit the bell notification, hit the thumbs up, leave the comments, and brilliant. West Ham up to 5th, and the Champions League chase is on. He's been Still, he's been Matt, I've been Anton. Come on, you Irons. Download OneFootball from the previous video.